Okay, so this is hard to talk about, but whatever. I'm going to talk about it because I'm doing what I said I was going to do. I'm telling the story. And I'm telling it to everyone. I know I said this before, but I hid it. I kept it between us for so long. I hid that shit for him, lied for him, and I helped him paint the fake fucking picture that we were. And I wish I never did that. But we're at that point. Now I'm asking this woman, what the fuck are you to my husband? You're not his mother. You're not a harmless old woman with a harmless crush. Nope, you're not. You're demanding my husband, right? You're commanding him. And you're getting better treatment than I ever have from him. Do you think that she was ever worried about saying the wrong thing and getting his rage directed at her so that he smacked her so hard she fell to the floor? No. You think she was ever worried about being threatened? He was going to punch her because she wanted to go in his truck? No. She never felt that pit of fear in her stomach when he was coming at her with death in his eyes or murder in his eyes. She never felt that. Never. Never. She never felt a lot of things that I felt. She only felt doted on and taken care of, and she might have felt, unsatisfied because he wouldn't, totally devote 100% of his life and time to her because he had a family and a wife. Might have felt that. But she always had the hope that one day he'd be all hers. So we had very different experiences with this man. He was telling me how great she was, always complimenting her and lifting her up with his words to me. And she was always hearing how shitty I was, unsatisfying to him, and just not a good wife or mother. Both my wifely, actions and my motherly actions were cut down. I mean, she literally says to him at one point, your children deserve the best, and if she can't give it to them, maybe it's time for her to go. And he said nothing to that. He had no response to that. At least in their messages, which I'm sure you didn't. You just let her get away with saying shit like that about me. And he was going to ignore anything about me going because, he didn't want to let me go. But I brought it up to her during our phone call. I said, would you say such a thing? Where was I supposed to go anyways? You guys needed me. I mean, I was your babysitter for all your rolling sessions. I didn't say that because I didn't know it at the time. But I was the one with the kids when, it was with you. So where was I supposed to go? Who was going to watch the kids? You think he was going to bring them with him to your house? And she wasn't thinking about that. Because why would she? She didn't think about my kids. They weren't her concern. She didn't care about that. She just wanted me gone because, I was her competition in her mind. Stupid. Fucking stupid. But anyways, I brought it up to her during a phone call. So why would you say something like that? Where was I supposed to go? Well, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. Well, how did you mean it then? What did you mean by that? I should go out of the picture. What should I been dead? What do you mean? You didn't mean it like that. Then how did you mean it? That I should go. How else did you mean that? Well, so I'm getting off track here. We're talking about when I first discovered it, and I reached out to her, and she did that odd thing and said she never denied it. She never had an appropriate response to it. Never said, that's just ridiculous. No. You got it all wrong, honey. She never picked up the phone to call me, to dispel my fears. She never did anything to assuage my fears about it, my concerns. She never did. She just said he was a great guy. She was lucky to have him in her life. He was like a son to her. And my kids were great. And she said she was sorry that we were going through this rough patch. And then she stopped talking. But still needed my husband in her home. Yeah, because I was going to fly. Yep, no, Marissa will just believe that we're like mother and son. Therefore, she's like my mother, so I've got to go take care of my mother. And you're going to have to be okay with that, wife. Yeah, my mother needs me to take care of her. And you're just going to have to be okay with that. That's my buddy's mother, Marissa. Come on. Be reasonable here. That's my buddy's mother. Just get over it. Grow up. I literally was told that. Grow up. Stop being jealous of an old woman. An old woman who, on Valentine's Day, you got candy for her? Yeah. Because she thanks him. Thank you for the candy. That was so thoughtful of you. And I'm like, gives her candy out of the blue. And then I looked at the date. Huh? February 14th. Valentine's Day. You thought that this woman who was like your mother should get sweetheart candy from you on Valentine's Day. What a great son. Oh, is there any other buddies' mothers you got candy for on Valentine's Day? No? No. Is there anyone else? Any other woman you bought Valentine's candy for? Or just her? Oh, just her. Yeah, just her. Because, that's my buddy's mother. Oh, so buddies' mothers, they're the normal people who get Valentine's candy from married men with small kids. Yeah, that makes sense. Dude, come the fuck on. Yeah. At that point, he should have just said, okay, it's pretty clear. It's pretty obvious. But no. I was told I was just making a big deal out of nothing. I needed to guess. Stop it. You're being ridiculous, ludicrous. The thought of that woman, gross, Marissa. How could you think I would do it? She's 70 years old. Don't you know that when you turn 70, a little sign pops up between your legs that says, expired, too old, can't use this anymore, it's past its date. It's too old. Oh, yeah. Now, 69 years old, that would be okay, but 70, no. By 70, there's that barrier there now. It's too old now. And it couldn't possibly want sex, not at that age. I mean, when you're 50, yeah, might get horny, but once you 20 years have passed, there's no longer any possible way that you want to have sex. I mean, Listen to yourself. Okay. Yep. There's no way that a woman who's 70 years old could seduce a man. No way. Okay. So, that odd thing that she did, telling him to stay strong, stopping talking to me, and then at that point, their messages are careful, and, they seem to have a little chick, because she knows, I can grab his phone and look at it anytime I want, and see what they're talking about. And then, something about, like, I hope we're supposed to help. What help did I need, bitch? I didn't need any fucking help. Shut the fuck up. You're the one who needs help. You're not leaving a married man alone. You're not leaving him alone. You're the one who needs help. And you think you can just ignore his wife and still control him whenever you want. And he thinks that too. But my whole point was, he was telling me that it was me. Whatever I had said to her, these ridiculous questions that I was asking, which were so odd and ludicrous, that was the reason why she just wasn't talking to me. It couldn't have anything to do with him leading her to believe that I meant nothing to him. I didn't matter. Only she mattered. And she could do and say whatever she wanted. He would always be there for her no matter what. And that she didn't have to do anything she didn't want to do. If she didn't want to deal with me, his wife, she didn't have to. Because he let her think that. And when he came home one night and said to me, because I was asking him, why does she think she doesn't have to respond to me, Brian? What's going on that this woman thinks she can be silent to me as she's still talking to you and getting her in her home? But listen, he said to me, she's a good person, Marissa. She just doesn't want to deal with the drama. Smile on his face. So it doesn't bother you at all, Brian, that she's concerning me. Her responses and her now shutting me completely off, but still thinking things are going to be status quo. That's concerning me, and it's freaking me the fuck out. I'm not in a good way about it. And the kids are going to see that. I mean, they're going to know something's up, something's wrong. That doesn't bother you, though? You know what? Say to her, I've already said this. Just, nope, she's a good person. Yeah, I'm totally cool with her not talking to you, Marissa. I think it's A-okay. It's A-okay that she's refusing to talk to you. Oh, and by the way, if you ask me to swear to you on my mother's grave and my daughter, who was just a month old when she passed away, rest in peace. When you ask me to swear on their graves that I did not have an affair with that woman, like I'm adamantly saying I didn't, well, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna act like you didn't even ask me to do that at first. But then I'm gonna do something else odd. One day I'm gonna, okay, this is what I did. I thought he must be contacting her through email or something. So I asked him, what, are you emailing her or is she emailing you? Are you guys talking through email? And this is what he did. He seemed very excited that he could respond to me with the truth. And this is what he did. I swear on my mother's grave. No, I swear on my mother's grave I have not emailed her. Wow. You automatically, without me asking you to do so, swore on your mother's grave twice that you weren't talking to her through email. But yet, oddly, you haven't done that about the affair. Why wouldn't you do that about affair? Don't you think immediately if you wanted me to know you weren't having an affair, you would do that like you just did with the emails? I swear on my mother's grave I didn't send no email. Why haven't you said that about the affair, though? And then even after he did that and I pointed that out, he still wouldn't do it. And his answer to that, because I didn't have to. I shouldn't have to do that. Because it's just ludicrous to say that I would do that. So for you to want me to swear that I didn't, if you really need that, what are we even doing? That was his answer to that. You really need me to do that? Wow. But I didn't ask you to do it for the email, though, and you didn't do that either. You suppose you didn't have an affair, but you don't want to swear that you didn't have an affair, but you didn't send an email either. You were saying, I did not do that, so therefore I don't need to swear that I didn't. That's what you said. But yet, you didn't send an email either. So, but you swear about that. It's the same thing. Took weeks. And the only reason he did it is because I was on the floor in the bathroom, unable to stop crying. Uncontrollably crying. And so he opened the door and said, I swear on my mother's grave and I won't do it again. Won't do it again. Then he left me crying on the floor. No comforting, no. Hey, I should have done this already. Listen, I swear on my mother's grave. I didn't have an affair with that woman. He didn't say that. I swear on my mother's grave and I won't do it again. Why couldn't you do it 20 million times? It's obvious why. Because you had an affair with her! And you still are. That's the only reason why you would act like that and say that like that. I was fucking crying uncontrollably on the floor. And that's what you thought would fix it? Finally half-assed swearing after weeks of refusing to. But you could do it automatically when I accused you or asked you if you send an email to her. With a smile like, I can tell the truth about that. And I can swear about that. Couldn't swear about the affair, though. Oh, my God. Dude. I know, you aren't the smartest person, right? But you're not that dumb. Are you? You're not that dumb. Maybe you are. I don't know. You're desperate. You're definitely desperate in a lot of ways. Right? I think so. All right. Later.